Okay, hi everyone. This is Team Project Face, and we are using artificial intelligence to accelerate Phelan-McDermid syndrome diagnosis. So, hi, my name is Allie Winches, and I'm currently a senior genetics major with a minor in business administration at Clemson.
I'm Emma Hatchell, and I'm currently a sophomore biochemistry major with a minor in music.
Hey, I'm Nathaniel Crago, and I'm a microbiology major and a computer science minor, and I'm a junior at Clemson.
My name is Lucy Stobbs, and I am a mathematics major at Clemson.
And we just want to thank our research partners, Catherine Weisensee and Anne Schillinglaw, and also thank you to Dr. Hudson Smith and Dr. Carl Urt for helping us out with our project. So really the problem that we're trying to solve is diagnosing often requires a lot of exposure to patients with disorder or disease, and Phelan-McDermid syndrome is a rare genetic disorder. So we are trying to quantify the morphological variability associated with Phelan-McDermid syndrome, or PMS, so that can be used for diagnosis and hopefully getting a more accurate and quicker diagnosis for patients to be diagnosed earlier with Phelan-McDermid syndrome.
As Allie said, Phelan-McDermid syndrome is a rare genetic disorder caused by deletion or structural changes to the SHANK3 gene shown here. The syndrome causes a wide array of behavioral issues, including intellectual disabilities, delayed speech, autism, and epilepsy, as well as some physical abnormalities such as low muscle tone and degrees of craniofacial dysmorphology. These facial dysmorphologies are often seen in a longer head shape, a flat midface, wide brow, wide nasal bridge, deep-set eyes, full cheeks, and a bulbous nose. And some examples of these facial dysmorphologies are shown in the pictures here as well. The severity of these features vary in every patient, and most of these cases are diagnosed in early childhood, and they're usually diagnosed using chromosomal microarray technology. Because of the varying degrees of symptoms and dysmorphologies, it is believed that many cases of Phelan-McDermid syndrome have gone undiagnosed. So the true estimate of affected people is really unknown.
So the first part of our project is the subjects and the data collection. The PMS patient data set was composed of 65 female and 48 male participants, with the mean age being around 10.4 years old. And this can be shown in the age distribution graph on the left. Race distribution is also shown on the right. Patients were confirmed by the Greenwood Genetics Center to have PMS through self-identification following a clinical diagnosis. These 3D images were obtained with permission and collected using a 3D MD temporal scanner. Subjects for the normalized data set, which were confirmed to not have Phelan-McDermid syndrome, were taken from the NIH face-based data set. IRB protocols were used and set up through Greenwood Genetics Center, and Clemson University IRB protocols were set up for the NIH dataset. So due to a lack of a large 3D facial model dataset, a model described by Dang et al. Was used to construct these 3D face models for our pre-training. The UTK face dataset was utilized in this reconstruction because it was found to be more representative of the general population compared to other facial datasets like Celeb-A, which contain only the faces of celebrities. The training pipeline used in this model converts a 3D model using a pre-trained model. It takes an input of a photograph and generates this 3D model, excluding the ears and neck. The 3D models are then oriented. Ultimately, around 20,000 images were collected and converted into depth maps from this UTK face dataset.
And because PMS can affect the ears and neck in a major way, we've looked into an alternative method for generating the 3D models from photographs, which is a model that was trained by Genova et al. And incorporates these areas. And because this model is not available to the public, we've been looking into using this instead, but we have not gotten that yet.
So for our VAE model, our encoder uses 3 iterations of convolution, pooling, and normalization, with the channels on each layer increasing from 8 to 16 to 32 for the 3 iterations. These depth maps are then passed through a dense layer of 200 nodes, and then converted in the latent vector to 160 latent dimensions, which we found was sufficient to produce reasonable looking results. The decoder then reversed all this conversion without the dense layer of nodes to give us the reconstructed model that's seen on the right.
And what makes this a variational autoencoder is the divergence term, which was used for the loss. And the loss functions you can see are on the bottom of this chart, where the KL divergence essentially tries to make the distribution in the latent space a bit normalized, so it's a helpful kind of representation. And this is combined with the mean squared error return, which essentially compares the depth at each point in the input and reconstructed image to try to make them as similar as possible, as well as the perceptual loss, which does a similar thing, but using a pre-trained model to try to recreate the visual structure rather than just the pixel by pixel difference, which is essentially how another model perceives that difference.
Our team is currently working on writing a research paper based on this project. Our target journal is the American Journal of Medical Genetics. We chose this as our target journal because our project aims to accelerate the medical diagnosis of PMS, which is, of course, a genetic disorder.
And right now with that paper, our main focus sections are currently the introduction section, which is outlining what PMS is and giving some background on the disorder, and also are introducing our methodology and the importance and why we're really pursuing this project. And then also going to the methodology section, outlining the data sets that we're using, the pre-processing methods, as well as our variational autoencoder model that we have designed. So just future directions, we've been working on this project for a few semesters now, and looking at next semester, we are really hoping to determine the most effective pre-processing method for our data sets. With those depth maps, how much are we trimming off? Are we keeping the ears and the neck? Are we removing that? And then another goal that we're looking to is actually to train the variational autoencoder model on the PMS and UTK face data sets, and hoping to obtain some results from that. And then also just continuing to work on our paper to hopefully be published in the Journal of Medical Genetics, which would be very, very cool for our team and another goal we have. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.